stable. Yeah, I don't think it's going nowhere. Alright. Welcome back to Arithmetic, Math and Science. Long time no upload. I think it said it's been 139 days since we last uploaded something on the channel. I've been busy failing statistics. And working on some music and stuff, which is probably why I fail statistics. But we back at it, man. What we're gonna be discussing today is what we were gonna talk about is how to multiply fractions. But instead, I was doing some research for the video and I decided to kind of call a little audible. And so what we're going to talk about in this video is what is multiplication. What is, and I was thinking about the whole thing for the video. We was going to talk about multiplying fractions. So if you, again, example, got something like 1/2 times 1/2. How you go about doing that. But, I kind of started thinking, I was like, well, what is multiplication even? What is that? I mean, what is that? So, I'm gonna write this right here. Multiplication. So, excuse me. And again, we do this live, so we got folks upstairs, folks in the room, so you're gonna hear all that. But multiplication comes from two words that means many folds. Multi, of course, means many. Multiple, many, and then plication is a word that comes from, or it comes from a word that means to fold, like when you fold clothes, or maybe even more accurately, origami when you're folding paper and other things. But many folds. So that's the quick answer. Multiplication means many folds. So when you're multiplying a number, I guess the idea is to, fold it a couple of times. I don't know how that works. So that was what I kind of got from multiplication. But then, again, in the course of doing research for this video, multiplication, there's another word that's really similar to multiplication. And I know that y'all know this word. This word is called duplication or duplicate. You put a little hyphen in there. Duplicate. Now, duplicate, that's a little bit more easy to kind of use in everyday language. Like, for example, you might have a duplicate of your house key or your car key. You might have a duplicate of your birth certificate. Cause again, how you gonna fold a number? I'm trying to get a what they call intuitive understanding of get a feeling of what this whole multiplication business is. So we know it means fold, but the word duplicate, which is basically cousins with multiplicate, I know we can more readily identify that word. So again, you got to duplicate your house key, birth certificate, car key, other important stuff. But when you got a duplicate again, so duplicate, this would mean what? Twofold. And we still, what I don't like is this fold word. That's the part that's kind of, I don't really, because that's not really, how you gonna fold a car key? You see what I'm saying? How you gonna fold a birth certificate? So, again, in the process of doing this video, doing the research for this video, there is another word that's actually related to both of these words. And this, what was it? Triplicate. You can have a triplicate of something. That's what it was. obviously that means threefold. But so you can have, duplicate, triplicate, and I think it go on to one more that I seen. What was it? Like when a woman has 4 kids, quadruplets. Now it's not necessarily the same. It's supposed to be an A. Quadruplet, I think something like that. And I don't think this word means fold. But excuse me. The reason I'm mentioning all of these different folds is going back to what multiplication means. So let's look at some numbers real quick. Let's look at some numbers, and hopefully this will kind of clear this up. So we got the number 1. And also, speaking of I didn't see like a 1 fold. So if y'all know about that, let me know in the comments or something like that. I ain't seen nothing about no 1 fold. But that would kind of help in this understanding. But so let's say we got the number 1. If we multiply 1 by 1, that's going to equal 1. 1 is not a duplicate. I mean, now, of course, we got 2 1s on this little board here. But the number 1 is not a duplicate of the number 1. It's the same as equal to the number 1. You know what I'm saying? So let's say we take the number 1 and then we multiply it by 2. We get the number 2, which is a duplicate of the number 1. And we can do the same thing with the number 3. We can get the triplicate of a thing. You can get a triplicate again of your house key, of a social security card, of a birth certificate. So you can get it, You can get a triplicate of those things. So that applies to numbers too. You can get a triplicate of the number 1. The triplicate of the number 1, I almost fucked up on that. The triplicate of number 1 is 3. I mean, obviously, right? But so every number has a triplicate. Or every number also has a duplicate. So let's do something like the number 4. What would be the duplicate of the number 4? I mean, I know y'all know, but it's gonna be 8. Now, what's the triplicate of 4? It's gonna be 12. Now, you can do this with any number, duplicate, triplicate, quadruplet. But all of this falls under the umbrella of what we now call multiplication. So you can fold something, look, and multi is probably just something for convenience. So let's say you want to do something, let's say you want to, what would be something you want to fold 15 times? If you want to take something and do it 15 fold, that's a lot of language. So instead of doing, what's it called, a quadruplet and then a quin, whatever, 5, we'll just say multiple fold. This is what I'm thinking the logic is behind this whole multiplication business. So let's say you got something 15 fold. Instead of, the Latin or Greek for etymology for 15. But instead of doing like this, you can just say we're gonna multiply it. We're gonna multiple fold of it. We're gonna make multiple folds. How many? Shit, we'll find out whenever we're done. You know what I'm saying? We can do 10, we can do 20. Because I guess sometimes when you're doing science experiments, that's necessary to do things multiple times over. And I guess that might be the thing for them folds. Folds is doing something multiple times over. So if you do 2 multiple times, or if you do something 2 times over, that's 2-fold. Do something 3 times over, that's 3-fold. 4 times over, 4-fold. But ain't no really, I don't think that's a word for that. But yeah, so that's just a real quick anatomy of the word multiplication. I hope that was gave you some type of feeling about what multiplication is. We will get to doing some computations in another video. But I'll see y'all next time.